What's going on, people? You know, I wish I could leave Takahashi playing for the whole time. I'm going to turn it way down so I can hear it in the background. It is Monday, the 23rd of January. Oh, well, it's the beginning of another week. Hopefully good things will happen more than bad. Folks, thank you very much for the feedback and the comments. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be able to share time like this in a manner like this. Very cool. And right quick, I love it. You know, people bring up stuff. I haven't heard of everything, but I've heard of the good shit like this. So I talked about Cactus, and then someone mentioned Peter French. Yes, Peter French was a good singer. This is not an original, but yeah, I got Leafhound, Growers of Mushroom. You better believe I know about this stuff. I sure do. Yeah, this was originals of this still are very pricey. I'm not exactly sure why, if it was a short run or something, but when it started to show up as a reissue, I grabbed it, and it's a good one. Another record that was mentioned in the comments in relation to me talking about Cactus was Iron Butterfly, and this absolutely is a fantastic under the radar album by Iron Butterfly, Metamorphosis. Mike Panera and Rhino are on this album, and it's really quite progressive and also very soulful. This is a good album. Does this have a good gatefold? It's been a while since I've looked at this. No, it's just the band, yeah. Good album. And I have their original In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. I didn't grab it, but this is also good. Iron Butterfly Ball. Got to see Iron Butterfly, not the first most famous incarnation. I do remember that the original drummer was still in the band because they made a big deal out of them doing In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida and the famous drum solo. I have Iron Butterfly live, so just grab those. Yeah, people, music and art are lifesavers. They are lifesavers. Unlike, well, I won't go there. And again, this weekend, as I'm listening to Yukihiro Takahashi right now, this album, Lifetime Happy Time, I love this album. This is really peaceful music. It just really became really... Takahashi, Yellow Magic Orchestra, that vein of electronic music is probably one of my top interests musically. And it does overshadow, and frankly, it does overshadow both Jeff Beck and David Crosby as far as the personal, my personal interest in listening. David Crosby has, along with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, have had a values impact on me as well as their music. Their song Teach Your Children, Ohio, some of the other songs, Helpless, Neil Young's Southern Man, those songs spoke to me and were important to me to hear voices of consciousness in the music trying to speak out in a righteous manner. So that's important to me. But when it comes down to the music, and as I've been saying for over 10 years in these videos, my primary interest is the music, not the words. And so the music of Takahashi, Sakamoto, Hosono, it trumps those other guys for me personally, although I love it all. Along those lines, I hadn't listened to this in a while. Tawate, he was in D-Light. But also when I got to see Yellow Magic Orchestra, he performed with them as well as a solo act. Last Century Modern. I love this stuff. I love how the combination of pop with high art. As I've been kind of just going through my grief of losing Takahashi and looking at all the different stuff online, there's a lot of stuff from Japan. There was this guy who has a channel where it says 40 years of following Takahashi, and it has all this stuff. Yellow Magic Orchestra and the solo members allowed their music to be used commercially in Japan a lot, and it makes sense. Different from here in America, where we've had for years this whole idea of selling out, which I originally agreed with coming out of the '60s. Don't sell it to the man. But as time has gone on, it's become obvious that out of practicality, if you want to survive, one of your streams of revenue is licensing, and YMO's music is really perfect for commercials. Really, a lot of it, and some of that old music really has dated. Rydeen and some of those old melodies, it's like they have dated. They take me back, and they do sound kind of a little corny, but really important. Really glad they did that. That music, really glad they did. Folks, I'm going to keep it short this morning. Again, I want to thank you for your love and support. I have actually only had just a couple of comments, and I will mention them because, again, it's like you folks are watching me, and so it's like, well, do some homework. It's like, it says something about the person who attempts to rain on my parade. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? They'll say something attempting to implant, like a virus, a negative thought into your bed of positive thoughts. I'm so glad I became aware of this through my work and also through life. That's what's going on, and it's up to me to accept it or reject it. Merely because someone says something doesn't make it a reality, but in the reactionary world that we live in, most of the time that's what happens. Somebody says something and all of a sudden it's true. You know what I mean? And so what a shame that we have folks who for some reason feel a need to do that. I'm just glad I'm aware of it, because my internal picture and happiness and everything is mine. It's not up to anyone. It's not up to anyone else. I think some of y'all need to hear this so you can use it. You might have friends or people people you work with who will say denigrating things, or you'll have people in your life who somehow don't value you or don't have a good sense of who you are, and they send that information to you in different ways. And if you don't know any better, you take it on. You believe it, or it bothers you. So get this message and understand. It's all just in the mind of the person saying it. You don't have to own it. Just because someone says something doesn't make it real. The sad part is when people think things and then act on them and make them real, like war. How insane. I was thinking about that in relation to the book. How the book that came out in Poland, they're right there next to Ukraine in that mess. So it has a direct impact, this madness, this war. Well, even though I'm all the way over here in the United States, there's a direct impact from that madness. It's ridiculous. War is madness. Seems like the main people who are doing that madness are the rich people. Always trying to get something. Hurting people. It's messed up. This is still sitting out, so I'll show this. Ryuichi Sakamoto's first solo album, 1,000 Knives. I had always wondered about this cover photograph. It didn't make any sense to me. And recently, the photographer who took these pictures, spoke up in the Ryuichi Sakamoto group on Facebook. Makoto Ida. He did the cover photos, and he explained that the idea of the photo was suicide by bath. I would have never got that. I mean, I see that he's, I didn't make the connection. Thousand Knives. The pain. Very strange, you know what I mean? But that's the beauty of art and music, is that we take from it what we can, and it's really based on our orientation and our own inner world. As an artist, and I'll speak collectively, we as artists will have something we're trying to convey to you, but there's no guarantee you're going to get it. It's part of the beauty and also the frustration of art and music. But it's a beautiful thing. Ultimately, it's a beautiful thing, and life would be horrible without it. Okay, a little short one this morning. Talk to you later.